welcome to my channel. My name is Kate. I'm going to be teaching you some yoga today. We're going to go through a really grounding Hatha flow practice. It's going to be about 40 minutes long, so make sure that you've got the time for that. There's also a 5-minute shavasana at the end. So it's going to be really grounding, centering, set you up for your day, wake your bodies up, and I hope you enjoy it. Let's get started. Alright, so first of all, we're just going to do a centering meditation to begin our practice. So if everyone would like to find a comfortable seat. If you feel uncomfortable when you're seated in a cross-legged position and your knees are like way up here, then get yourself a block, a book, a cushion, anything that you can sit on basically, so it'll prop your hips up. Just like this, and the knees should fall down to the floor. If they're still up and you're rounding your spine like this, then just keep elevating those hips until you reach that point where your back is straight and your knees aren't tensed upwards. If all of them are completely inaccessible to you, then you can sit up on your heels, or some people will have really great flexibility and be able to sit like this, even though they can't sit in easy pose. We're all different, not everyone's the same. So whichever position is comfortable for you to be in for a few minutes. And if you'd like to take your hands to your knees or to your thighs, you can have your hands in between, just rested on the feet. Whichever is comfortable for you. And we'll close our eyes gently, just tuning in to our inner worlds. Noticing what's going on in your mind this morning. Maybe you've come to your mat because you feel like you need this grounding this morning. You need to feel more rooted into the earth. You have some manic energy. You're not quite sure what to do with it. Well, you've come to the right place. You might feel very clear this morning. However you feel in your mind, try not to pass any judgment on the thoughts that come in. We'll shift our attention now just to our outer worlds, to the sounds around us. Noticing maybe the sound of the wind outside. And just noticing and observing the sounds. Accepting that they're there, allowing them to be. Now we'll take our focus back inwards again to our breath, tracing the breath as it goes down through the nostrils and into our bellies. As you exhale, the belly will fall away, the air pushes out. Feel the air coming out through the nostrils. How does it feel? Really allowing the belly to expand, your deep, slow abdominal breaths calming the mind. If you like, you can actually place a hand on your belly here. This will allow you to be given a reminder of where your belly needs to be. So when you inhale, the belly will expand, and as you exhale, the belly will fall away, and keep the hand there. So it's like a marker for where you want your belly to be each time you take a deep inhale. As we take these slow and deep abdominal breaths, notice the weight of your body on the earth. Feel the connection of your body to the earth beneath you. Feel supported by the ground. Feel that sense of grounding, feeling centered, feeling safe. We'll bring our hands together. Our palms, will rub them together, creating some heat. When you've generated enough heat in your hands, place them over your eyes. And then slowly flutter the eyes open and release the hands back down to your knees. So to begin our posture practice, I'm going to initiate the space with the sound of the Tibetan singing bowl. Okay, so we're going to begin the practice lying down on our mats. So if you twizzle yourself around, lengthen your legs down, and just come down. Bringing one knee into the chest, followed by the other. And we'll squeeze those knees in. So either interlacing the fingers, holding onto the arms or the elbows. As we inhale, we release the knees slightly, and as we exhale, we pull them in slightly closer to our chest. Inhaling, release. Exhaling, pull those knees in. Now from here, we'll extend our feet all the way up to the sky so that the soles of your feet are pointing upwards towards the ceiling. Your knees can be bent here if it's a strain to keep them straight. And we're going to create circles of the ankles. From the ankles, drawing with the feet. Doesn't matter which way. And then we'll go back the other way. Now we're going to draw circles from the knees, dropping the knees down and coming up. Just getting some movement in the lower half of the body, bringing some synovial fluid into our joints. Back the other way. And then we can bring our knees back into our chest, giving them a squeeze. Open mouth to exhale to relieve any tension. just really sighing everything out. Then we'll release both feet back down to the mat. So the knees are pointing upwards towards the ceiling, feet firmly grounded. We'll bring our right ankle and we're going to place it over our left knee. We're going to interlace the hands behind our left thigh and pull that thigh into the chest. So we can really feel that stretch down the outer right hip. It can be quite intense. For some people, you might just want to stay here. This could be just enough for you, depending on your flexibility in the hips. But if you want to go deeper, then take a hold of that left thigh. Or if you want to go even deeper, you can take a hold of the shin. But it's really about just asking yourself where you are today, not pushing yourself too hard. Making sure that your shoulders are in contact with the mat. So we don't want to be coming up off the mat like this, straining for the leg. Keep the shoulders firmly grounded, pulling that leg in. Just breathing here, breathing into the sensation. Maybe loosening the muscles of every exhale, just slightly. Making room for more space within the body. And we'll slowly release the foot back down to the mat. Uncross the leg and just extend both legs out and give them a shake. Okay, now we're going to bring our feet back onto the mat with the knees pointing towards the sky. We'll take our left ankle, place it over our right knee. We can use our left hand here to push the knee away. This may be enough for you, depending on your flexibility within the hip. So if you're already finding this to be quite an intense stretch, just stay here. But if you'd like to get a bit of a deeper stretch, then you can take a hold of the right thigh like we did on the other side. Pulling that thigh in, but keeping those shoulders grounded down into the mat. And if you want, you can always take a hold of the shin, of course, if you're very flexible within the hip. Just breathing deeply here, sending your breath into the sensations, sending your breath to the outer left hip. With each exhale, maybe pulling in that little bit closer towards the chest. And on your next exhale, release the foot down to the ground, uncross the leg, and we'll shake our legs out again. Just releasing any tension. Alright, so if we bring our feet back to the mat once again, and we'll push into our elbows, into our hands, come up to a seated position on your mat. And from here, if you want to sit cross-legged, that is fine. But if you do have the ability to sit in your knees, this may be more comfortable for you, then I'd like you to do so. This is called Thunderbolt pose. A very straight, elongated spine within this posture. We'll place our hands on our legs. Just feeling strong, proud, and grounded into the earth here in this pose. We'll open up the hands here. We'll bring our chest through, gaze up to the sky. And as you exhale round the spine, bring your hands to the front, palms touch. Chin comes to the chest. Inhale, the arms come wide. Gaze up, chest comes through. Exhale, hands come in front of you. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out once more to neutral, and we'll drop the hands to either side of the body. Okay, we'll take some slight side bends here. Bring your right hand to the mat, left hand comes over. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. Inhale up, exhale bend. Once more. Last side. And back up to center. Okay, from here we're going to come into a four-legged position, into our tabletop pose. So we'll have our knees directly underneath our hips and our hands directly underneath our shoulders. Make sure that your hands are grounded down into the mat here. So spread your fingertips wide and put most of your weight into the L of your fingers, to this area here. And you place that down. Even feel like your knuckles are pressing down into the mat. So you really are creating a firm foundation. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. So as you inhale, you arch the back, bring your chest through, gaze up. As you exhale, you round the spine, push the ground away, gaze to your belly button. Inhale, chest comes through, gazing up. Exhale, push the ground a bit away. Belly comes to your spine. Really exaggerate this movement. Bring your chest through on your inhale. Exhaling, pushing the ground away. So we'll take a slight variation during this posture. As you inhale, bring your chest through, gaze up. This time as you exhale, bring your sit bones to your heels. Head comes to the floor, child's pose. As you inhale, you bring your hands up to the sky, gaze up. As you exhale, press your hands down onto the ground, push the ground away, arch the back. As you inhale, chest comes through, gaze up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come up onto the knees, gaze up to the sky. Exhale, release the hands back down to the mat. Angry cat. We'll flow through this at our own pace. Moving with our inhales and our exhales. Speed it up a little bit. Last round. Then you can return to neutral. So you really feel there's some heat being generated within the body right now. Take a moment to notice that. I'm going to take a balancing table. So if you bring your left leg up straight back, heel is flexed. Bring your right arm in front of you. Stay active within the arm, stay active within the leg. Gaze forward. Picking a place in front of you to balance. Remembering to breathe. Then we're going to move our left leg out to the side, place it down on the ground. And we'll revolve our table by bringing our hand, our right arm up to the sky, gazing up to look at it. Then we'll bring our hand back down to the mat, lift the leg up, bring it back in, return it to the mat. So we'll do the same thing but on the other side. So if you bring your right leg up, flexing the foot, bring your left hand forward. Both the arm and the leg stay active, gazing forwards, picking that point in front of you to focus on for your balance. And then bringing that right leg out to the side, placing the foot and revolving our table. Sending your breath into the inner right thigh. Then releasing that hand back to the mat, lifting the foot with control, bringing it back, placing it down onto the mat. So make sure that your hands are grounded once again into your mat, fingertips wide. Tuck the toes, send your hips to your heels. Head comes in between the biceps. We'll lift our knees 2 inches up off the ground. Hover here for a second. Then we'll extend our hips up to the sky, coming into our first downward facing dog. You can pedal out the heels here if you like. And just taking a moment to connect to your breath. So really feel like your hips are extending all the way up to the sky, your back is flat. Keep a slight bend in the knees here. Don't feel like they have to be straight. Don't feel like your heels have to be down on the mat. Mine certainly aren't. And then we'll slowly walk our feet up to our hands, coming to a forward fold at the front of our mat, bending into the knees so that the tops of the thighs touch our belly. Then we can take a hold of each elbow, just really sway it out here, moving from side to side. Shaking your head yes, shaking your head no. Really releasing the upper neck, allowing your head to be heavy. Feel like it really is this dead weight just dangling down towards the ground. Feel gravity pulling it down, elongating the back of the neck and the spine, giving our backs that all needed rest. Then we can release our hands to the floor, bend into the knees, and slowly, with control, rolling our spine up to standing. I'm just going to turn to you guys, but we're going to ground our feet down into our mats. So really feel your feet on the ground here. Have your feet hip width distance apart and lift your toes up off the mat. So you can really feel the arches of the feet rise here. And then one by one, dropping each toe down to the mat. Really feeling a firm foundation in the feet, feeling all 3 corners of the feet, 2 front, 1 at the back. Then we can begin to soften our knees, engage the thighs, tilt the pelvis, tuck the tailbone. Keep our shoulders relaxed, down our back. Hands come out to the side, open palms in our mountain pose. So we're going to shift our weight here in mountain to our left foot. Begin to pick up your right foot and then externally rotate the hip outwards and place the sole of your foot on the thigh. Maybe it's on the knee, it may be on the calf, or it may just be here for you today, depending on your balance. But if we're up here, or wherever we are, we'll take our hands into prayer. Taking your hands into prayer will center your gravity here. If you want to keep your arms up, that'll give you a little bit more to play with in terms of balance. I like having my hands upwards because it's like the branches of a tree, and this is called tree pose. So really imagine yourself as a tree in the forest. Your foot is the trunk of the tree, firmly grounded down into the earth. Imagine those roots going down through the foot into the earth's soil, really grounding you into your surroundings. We'll take a hold of the leg and allow it to come down to the mat. Once again, finding our grounding in the feet, lifting the toes, placing them down. Shifting our weight onto our right foot, lifting up our left leg, externally rotating that hip, placing it wherever it wants to go on the leg today. If you want, again, you can center your gravity with your hands or have your arms up to the sky like a tree. So once again, on this side, imagining yourself as a tree. Noticing if you have better balance on this side to the other. Just try not to pass any judgment on yourself here. If you're finding it really easy to balance, then you might want to try closing your eyes, which is pretty difficult to do. If you really like swaying in the breeze, then it's all about falling over in yoga. If you don't fall over, you're never going to learn or create any balance. So we'll bring ourselves back in again, bring the knee in, dropping it down to the ground. We'll take ourselves back to the top of our mat. You guys should still be there, really. Well, inhale our arms up to the sky, gaze upwards. Exhale, hands together, forward fold, flat back, down to the ground. Then fold into your forward fold. Gazing to the knees, bending the knees, allowing the belly to touch the thighs. Planting our hands down onto the mat, we're going to step back with our left foot. Drop that foot down onto the mat. Come up, using your core, keep your front knee bent in our warrior two. Making sure that your front knee isn't falling over the ankle, that your knee is in line with the toes. Arms come out, gazing to the fingertips. We'll flip our palm, our front palm, and reverse our warrior, bringing our left hand down the back leg, and our right arm comes up and over to the back, but keeping the position in our legs. Inhale, come forward, back to your warrior two. Exhale, straighten the legs, and we'll just turn to the other side. So we've now got our left toes pointing towards the back of the mat, and our right foot, the left hand edge, is perpendicular to the front of our mat. So we're bending into our front knee, arms are out wide, gazing to our fingertips. Feeling strong and stable in our warrior. Flipping the front palm. Reversing. Inhaling back to warrior 2. Exhaling, straighten the legs. Inhale, bring the feet in. So we're in a wide-legged stance right now. Toes pointing out straight. We'll interlace our hands behind our back. Keep the palms together. Roll your shoulders onto your back. Pull your hands down to the ground. Inhale, exhale, fold. Allowing your arms to fall back behind you. You can have a bend in the knees here. They do not need to be straight. They do not want to be completely straight. Always have a micro bend to protect your joints. You can widen your stance if you like. It's a little bit easier. We'll exhale, bringing your hands to our sacrum. Then we will release the hands, bringing them down to the mat. And with a flat back, bring yourself back up to standing. So we'll just heel toe our feet inwards, coming to the middle of our mat, and we'll sit down. So we're just going to come down onto our backs once again. We'll take a few spinal twists just to release our lower back. So if you lift your right knee into the chest, interlace the hands, squeeze that knee in. Take a hold of it with the left hand, bring your right arm out to the side. Inhale to extend, exhale to twist over to the left hand side. Being mindful not to over twist, making sure that your right shoulder is in contact with the mat. And maybe using your left hand as a prop for your right knee. Just to make sure that you're not over twisting. If the breath is compromised at all in this pose, you may want to come out a little bit. Inhale back up to center. Give that knee one last squeeze into the chest before extending it back down onto the mat. Okay, good. Inhale the left knee into the chest. Exhale, squeeze that knee in. Take a hold of that left knee with the right hand. Allow your left hand to relax out to the side. Take an inhale to extend. And an exhale to twist over to the left. Once again, making sure not to over twist in your spinal twist. In any spinal twist, we don't want to be pulling ourselves into the position. We want to be able to feel the full expression of the breath. Both shoulders in contact with the ground. allowing our nervous system to calm in this posture. Inhaling the knee back up to center, giving it one last squeeze into the chest, or extending it down in our mat. Centering our hips. We're going to take a hold of both feet with the hands, the outer edges of the feet, maybe the ankles, or you can take a hold of your toes with your two-piece fingers. Depends where you are. We're going to happy baby, so if you know this posture, then take your variation. If not, we're going to be learning where we are today. So take a hold of the outer edge of your feet. Make sure that your lower back is in contact with the ground. And then extend your feet up to the sky, pulling your knees down, trying to get them into your armpits. So if you feel like your shoulders are popping off the mat here, mine are. My lower back has also come off the ground a little bit. So we want to walk our hands further down the leg so that the lower back can be in contact and the shoulders. And this will be your happy baby. So it could be lower, your hands could be at your knees here. No matter where they are, it doesn't matter. So as long as you feel that stretch in the hips, that relaxing, tension releasing massage in the lower back, you can rock from left to right. Massaging out the kidneys. And then we can release the legs, bringing them down to the mat in our resting position, Shavasana. So if we bring our legs slightly wide, our ankles relaxing out to the side, our arms slightly out from our body so that they aren't touching the torso, and our palms facing upwards towards the sky in a gesture of receiving. And we'll gently close our eyes here. Tuning into our breath once again. Deep, slow abdominal breaths. Following the breath down into the belly on your inhale. And following the breath as it comes out on your exhale. Slowly begin to bring some movement into your hands, your feet. Wiggling your toes, your fingers. Turn yourself over onto one side and push yourself up, using the strength of your arms to a seated position on your mat. Try and keep the eyes closed during this process to keep a hold of that Shavasana energy, that calmness within the mind. And we'll take our palms into our heart center in Anjali Mudra. Bow the head. Take our thumbs to our third eye. Namaste. Thank you very much for watching my video. I hope that it set you up for the day and that you'll go on to have a beautiful, beautiful day. If you like this video, then please like it on YouTube, follow my channel. I'm going to be uploading loads more videos for you really soon. If you've got any requests for anything that you'd like in particular, then just write it in the comment section below. I'll see you again soon.